Hey guys, so let's see today's question. Problem statement 24. Smart school ranking system. So determining student ranking based on academic performance. Okay, let's understand the problem. In a school, students are ranked based on their performances in the three subjects, mathematics, science, and English. The school management wants to assign an overall rank to each student based on their scores in these three subjects. To calculate the overall rank, the school follows these rules. Okay. So the overall rank is determined by the sum of the ranks in the subject for each student. The overall ranking is determined by the sum of the rank in the each subject of each student. Okay. If two or more students have the same overall rank, the students with the higher score in mathematics will be given the higher rank. If the mathematics scores are also the same, then the students with the higher rank will be in the science will be given the higher rank. If both mathematics and science scores are the same, then we will check for the English scores. And if all the scores of two or more students are the same, they will be given the same rank. Okay. So we have to write a C++ function called as int star int pointer. This is going to be the pointer that we are going to return. Calculate over all rank, where we will have the parameters as int math scores. So here we have given an array, math scores and science scores and English scores with this n that takes in three arrays representing in mathematics, science and English. Okay, scores of the students, and return an array containing the overall rank. Okay, so this is going to be the array overall rank of the student. Okay, let's see the test cases. The input is math squares. This is one array. Another array for science and English. So totally three arrays. Output will be like this. Okay. So let's understand the explanation. The students with the index 2 has the highest total score. The student with the index 2, 0, 1, 2, 80 is 873 plus 85 plus 92. So this guy in the second is having the higher rank. Okay, so 2 will be printed first. Okay, 2 will be the first element. Then the student with the third index is the second highest score. Okay, the third index is this one, 95, 78, and 78, which is 255. So the third ranking. Then, okay, got it. Hmm. Then this one comes first, and yeah, okay, got it. Okay, so this is what we need to do. All right. Okay, let's try to implement the code here. What I'm planning here is we can do it with the help of object-oriented concept, where I can create a class of a student where I'll be for each and every student I'll be holding multiple values like math score, science score, English score, total score, and then I'll be taking an index which will position the student into the array. So we'll quickly do that. Okay, so let us try to understand how I can do it. First of all, first thing first, hash include IO stream, and then I'm going to use using namespace std. Okay. One more thing, or let's say we'll create a class first, class student, and here I am gonna store, I'll write here public, and inside this I'm gonna store int math score. Okay, int science score, then int English score. Then for total, I'm gonna say total score, and then int index is going to be the thing. Okay, all right. So this is going to be our class where the attributes are going to be like this. And what we can think is, let's say we're gonna create our main function first, and I'm gonna see what I'm gonna write here. Let's say int math score is an array where we are storing the math score. So let us do it here. 90. This part we will do, and I'll paste it. Similarly, let me just directly copy this thing out and we'll paste it. This is going to be an array. Here, this and this. Okay. So we have three scores, um, int here and int here as well. Okay. So we have three arrays. Now to calculate the size of the array, we can calculate one of the arrays. We can take one of the array and we can create the formula based on that. So I'm going to say int n is equals to be the size. Let's take the size of, let's take the size of the first array, math scores, and then equals to, so not equals to, divided by the size of math scores of 0, math scores of 0, math score of 0. This is going to calculate me the size of the array and we'll get the size in the n. Okay. Now, the idea is that using this, class, we can create a array because that arrays will have different options, right? So later on we'll see. Let's first create a constructor here, a parameterized constructor which can be used. First, I'm going to say here student. Inside this, I'm going to pass int math, int science, int English, then int the index. Okay, I'm gonna keep all of these things in short form. Okay, reducing identifiers in undefined. Okay, it's not I, it is int. Okay. Okay, let me finish this off quickly first. We're gonna use a shortcut and I'm gonna directly say here the math score of math variable that we have taken it here. Okay. Similarly, score, science score of, here I'll take science. Then next, similarly, I'm gonna take English score of English. Okay. And then the index, right? IDX. You can put something like this, and here only inside this, I can give the value of the total score. So total score is equals to the math score plus the science score plus the English score. This is going to be the thing in this case. Okay, this is fine, no problem. So this is going to be our class here. Okay. So this is going to be the class, and now then after this, before I create the main function, in the question they have been asking us to create a function of this name. Let me just copy and paste it. There you go. In calculate overall rank, these are the parameters. Okay, I'm just zooming it in so that there's no confusion here. And inside this function, what I can do is I will be taking. Mm, there is one thing here though. What I can do is rather than passing these values, these arrays manually, can I do something like this? Here, I create an array called as student, and then I can say here star student. I'm going to create a array students equals to new student. First, I'll create the object. Here, I'm going to give the student size n here. Okay. Later on, we'll see how we can work around with this. As of now, let it be like this only. Here it is saying that no default constructor exists for the class student. Okay, so let us create that intentionally. Let us create it if it is not there. So I'll just create this one, and this will allow me to call that default constructor, which doesn't have anything into it. Okay, so I'll keep it like that, and now this will not give us any error. So it is gonna quietly take it into it, and then we will be able to do that. Then what I can do is I can create a for loop here for int I will start from equals to 0 and I will be less than the n. Okay, I will be less than the n and I plus plus I'm gonna say here, and inside this, why don't we put all the values to the students of I, I'm gonna say equals to, I'm gonna call this a student of, I can call math score of I, then science score of I, and then English score of I. Something like this I can do. I hope so. And then give the I as well in this case. Okay, I itself. And then most probably in the int rank, int ranks actually, int star ranks, I will call the calculate rank function, calculate over rank function. And rather than now passing all these values, what we can do is in the calculate over rank values, I can just pass the students students of this array. Okay, so you're getting my point, right? I'm passing that array there, and all the values, all the scores will be, you know, copied here in this function in one shot. Okay, then I'm passing int n. So this is going to be the function definition for me, and inside this I need to sort the students. In order to sort the student, I need to first compare them. So basically here in the calculate over rank, first thing first, before I calculate the ranks, I need to sort the students who is going to get the better marks in this case. So to do that, I need another function here, okay, which will give me bool compare student. If they are comparing if the comparison is there, then we'll go ahead and then compare students. And here I'm gonna pass the student S1 and student S2. At least two students I'll compare, right? So I'm gonna call the class name student ampersand S1 because here I'm gonna pass the reference of that, and I'm gonna say here student ampersand S2. So basically the reference of the two students are given into this compare students compare students function, right? Now we are going to check if the total scores of S1 and S2 are equals. If it is equals, then check the math score. If it is not equals, then give one of those guys a greater math score, and then and so on. We will be doing a lot of things. Okay, so we'll come to that point. So let's understand this first. I'm going to write here on condition if the student one's total score is equals to the student two's total score, then at that time, you check again if the math score, if the sorry, if the S1's math score is not equals to S2's math score, not English score, math score, then you should return me there S1 dot math score is greater than S2's dot math score. Okay. Understood. This is for if the math score value is not, if the total score is, matches. Then one more thing I'll write here. What if the science score matches, right? So actually I'm gonna do the same thing only. And here instead of math score, I'll do it as a science score. Okay, let me do it quickly. Together we'll do. Here I'm gonna science score like this. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and depending upon that, you will get the total score. Okay, now after this is completed, here you will return me S1 dot total score is greater than S2 dot total score. Okay, so it is like that. Okay, there is something like that we can do. We can compare the two students here using this, and you know what? Now later on in this calculate overrank function, after passing the n inside this body of this, I will I will sort the student 1 and the student 2. That means I'm gonna well, I can't write the algorithm here for sorting, right? So let me do one thing. I'm gonna add here hash include one thing, hash include. I'm gonna write algorithm hash include algorithm. This will allow me to use the algorithms directly into my program, and here I can just directly say sort student student students students comma students plus n, and then you do compare students at that time. Okay, so it will sort it and then it will compare the students. So everything is passed here inside the compare function, which will return me if the student 1 is better or the student 2 is better. If the all the conditions are true here, then it will return true to me that student 1 is better. If not, then it will return the false. And according to that, these students will be sorted. So something like this will happen in the code, and this is the first thing that we do. Now I need to store the ranks also, right? So after writing the sort function, what we can do is I can create int star, let's say ranks equals to new int of, I'm gonna pass the size n. Okay, and here I'm gonna say ranks of student. Now you see what I'm doing here. Students of 0 dot index is equals to, you set it to 1. And then you create a for loop which will start from int I is equals to 1, and it will go till I is less than n and I plus plus. Okay. And here inside this, now you will check the student's total score, and depending upon that we will be deciding if the ranks are going to get inside it or not. So depending upon the students total score, now it will be decided and on the what position the student is kept on to. Okay, so this way I'll be able to do it. So I can say here if inside this for loop I'll check again the students if the students I, that means starting from the first student itself, its total score is equals to the students of I minus 1. Okay, dot total score. Then at that time, that means I'm talking about the second student compared with the first student. If they are equals, then you'll do rank of, I'll say students of I and dot index. Something like this equals to the ranks of the students of I minus 1 index. Okay, I hope so. This is gonna be good. Some error is coming. What is that error? Mm, it is ranks. Okay, ranks. Right. Then, if this is the thing, otherwise, in else block, you do one thing. Um, Ranks of students dot I, students of I dot index, you put it to I plus 1. Okay, this way I'll be able to fill that off. Okay, fill the ranks into that, and then that's it. This is going to be the calculate the overrank. This calculate the overrank will happen, and ranks will be stored here. So I'll call it here. So I'm going to say calculate the overall ranks here, and I can pass what all things I'm passing here, the student and the n. So I'm passing this whole students of I, right? That means I need to pass the students here in this case. So how to do that? I'm just gonna pass inside this students and comma the n, which is the size of the array, right? Now, one more thing I almost forgot. I have written the return type, but how it will return inside this? I have not even written the return type. So return type also has to be given, right? And here in this case, what I'm gonna return? I am gonna return the ranks. Okay. So after this, I'm gonna say return ranks, which is going to return me the final ranks value into this, and it will cal into this rank array. It will do that like this. Okay. So I can print the overall rank, and that's it. Let's one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's check it first if everything is clear or not. This is fine. This is also fine. Why I've created our constructor, default constructor, because here it was not taking this n while I'm creating the ranks array, right? So for that also, I need to just create a default constructor which is empty, which is not doing anything. It should be there at least, because here we initialize another constructor. No, we're just taking all these values. So I don't want to do that. So this is what you can call as constructor overloading. I've overloaded the constructor in this case. One constructor is just used for the setting up the size, and another constructor is used for setting up the marks and all those things and calculating the total score out of that, right? And then here I'm first created the compare student function where I am passing the student s1 and s2 references. Then I'm just checking if the scores are correct or not. And yeah, I hope so. This is looking good as of for now, but I've not completed it. See, whenever we are doing this, I need to print the rank also, right? So in the next line, see out, let's print overall rank, overall rank, all ranks. Here, um, I'm not gonna give the endl, and one by one I can give the values by iterating over it. So for end I is equals to, it will start from 0. Of course, it will go till I is less than n and I plus plus, and one by one I can just print out the rams. So see out, I can just say here ranks of I. Okay, and print some space also in between so that it looks nicer, and then you move to the next line. So see out and you print to the next line, and done. Okay, I hope that this is very much clear. Now one more thing, that you should know is that here we have dynamically allocated the memory for both ranks and students, right? This is ranks, not this one. Here ranks, and here students, not here. Here students, right? So we need to do a deallocation also, because this is C++, right? So according to the C++ dynamic memory allocation, I'll say ranks here, which is going to delete the or deallocate the memory or free the allocated memory, and I'm going to say delete again, and it will delete the array of students as well. So once the job is done, at last you do this thing, and out of this you just say return 0. Okay, so I hope so. This code should run. I have done a lot more things into it. I'll just save it and moment of truth. Let's check. Oh, nice, sweet. It is coming nicely. It is working fine. So in this case, it is printing everything nicely. I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you guys then, right? And this is how we are gonna do it, guys. This is the code for it. The simplest way I could thought to tell you guys using the arrays here. You can do it with a vector also. You can do it with different data structures also. But I have shown you with the help of a simple data structure, and that is your array data structure. Well, that is it for this video, guys. Let's move on to the question and see. That is the code, and this is the question. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.